So hello guys, it's me again, Bruno. So today I want to speak about the topic of self-confidence. So it's one of my favorite topics because we all know that without self-confidence, without confidence in ourselves, we can't do anything. We can't achieve absolutely anything. And especially we can't make people believe in us, whether kids, co-workers, or whoever. So we need to have confidence in ourselves, self-confidence to be able to achieve anything. In any endeavor, we need self-confidence. In our professional lives or in our personal lives, we need self-confidence for everything, basically. So before we tackle the topic, I like to have a definition. I like to know exactly what we are talking about, what the dictionary says. I like dictionaries a lot. So I'm going to read the definition I have here of self-confidence. So we have here, it's a feeling of trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. We have some synonyms, very interesting. We have self-assurance, we have assertiveness, we have assurance, self-reliance, and I like those ones. Composure, nerve, and presence. So composure, nerve, and presence, those are really, really cool for me because one thing I can notice about someone, if they're not confident, you will see it by their presence, by their composure, physically, by their physical attitude. So you will see by the shoulders, they have shoulders kind of low. And you can see also by the general aspect of their face. Generally people who are have low confidence, they look a lot of times down. They don't have eye contact. They really do it. It's difficult for them to have eye contact with people because they have low self-esteem. They don't trust themselves. They are afraid that people will see through them. So those are the way you can see, and most people can see it. So you can talk anything you want. You can talk all day, but people will notice by your attitude, your coworkers, your kids, anybody will able to look at you, and people have a knack to detect low self-esteem or confidence. So basically, that's what I wanted to talk about. So as an introduction, so basically, I have three points I'm going to talk about. And the first point basically is our general attitude, physically, our presence, our aspect, general aspect. So to be confident, we have to first love ourselves in the physical aspect, our bodies. We need to like our bodies. And I know a lot of people struggle with loving their bodies, and a lot of self-esteem issues are related to the bodies. So a lot of us don't love our bodies. We have issues with that. And for me, it's really the easiest part regarding self-esteem because we know that self-esteem is a little bit deeper. I'm not a psychologist, but some aspect of self-esteem are really difficult to deal with. A little bit more deeper. They are rooted in our childhood and a lot of trauma we may had when we were child. But I am a proponent of doing sport, of going to the gym. It's one of the easiest way to increase our self-confidence. I go to the gym 3-4 times a week. It's really good for our bodies, and it's also very, very good for the mind. We know, for example, that in 10 to 20 years, I read an article that says that depression is going to be the number one killer in the world. So I read that article in a World Health Organization article. And so depression will be the number one killer. And one of the things you can see, you can look it on the internet. One of the way to fight and combat depression is actually doing sport, having activities. So it's really, really important. So coming back to our topic of self-confidence, the first thing I recommend is doing sport. So if you don't like your body, for example, a lot of people complain about the belly. I mean, my belly is not what I want to. And so it's really, really easy. Number one, you have to adapt your diet. So if you're eating like fast food or greasy food or stuff like that, or too much sugar, I mean, you have to reduce. Of course, it's impossible to stop completely, but you have to reduce, adapt your diet, and then go to the gym. I know a lot of people say, "Yeah, I don't have time to go to the gym. I'm really busy and all that." Okay, you're not forced. It's not mandatory to go to the gym. You can work out at home. It's only 10 to 15 minutes every day. I mean, everybody has time to that. I mean, people would rather have low self-esteem and complain than actually doing something, because something has to be done. If you don't do anything, nothing is going to change. Okay? It's the definition of insanity I heard is doing the same thing and hoping for a different result. And it's exactly what people do. People complain they don't do nothing and they want things to change. So basically, I recommend everybody to go to the gym or work out at home and do some exercise and adapt the diet little by little. I know it's impossible to ask someone to change completely their diet in one day, but it has to be progressive, slowly, little by little. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. So the second thing is related to the way we dress. It's also related to our aspect, but more the clothes. So we were talking about our bodies. So now we're talking about the clothes, the clothing. So one thing I recommend people, and especially men, but people in general, it's not necessary to have a nice, for people to have a nice aspect, it's not necessary to spend a lot of money in clothing. Personally, I don't. I have a lot of clothes, but I don't spend a lot of money. But I have some quality clothes. Nowadays there's a lot of stores. I'm not going to mention any name because I'm not sponsored by any brand, but there's a lot of stores that sell pretty good quality clothes and not expensive. So the advice I give generally to guys is like you can have 3 or 4 pants, like 4 or 5 t-shirt, and 3 or 4 polos or shirt or t-shirt. It's not necessary to have thousands or hundreds of pieces of clothing. So basically what you have to do is to be able to change regularly. One thing I noticed about a lot of guys, and some girls have told me that, it's guys don't change their clothes. A guy is going to come with the same pant and the same shirt like 2-3 days in a row, 4 days in a row. That's a killer for most women. I'm telling you right now. So you don't need to have a lot of clothes, but you need to change them regularly. Even if you put like the same pant or the same shirt, wait like 2 or 3 days and then you put it again. You're not going to put it the next day and the next day. So basically my advice is to buy some clothes, not very expensive, and to change regularly. And of course, to use some perfume, because one of the thing that women really, really hate is guys who don't smell good, And generally, even if you take a shower and then you smell good, but if your clothes smell like bad because you've been wearing that for a couple of days, that's really, really bad. So it's better to change clothes regularly than even if you buy something new and you're going to wear it every day, every day, every day. It's better to change the clothing regularly. And the last aspect I wanted to talk about is people who are shy. Like it's almost like a sickness, and I understand it's tough. So nowadays with the internet society, with the social media, etc. I love social media, but it's something that, especially our young people, it's something that made people not know how to talk. People send messages, text, etc., but people don't know how to talk anymore. So for people who are shy, my advice is to practice. What do you mean by practice? I mean by talking to people. Talk to people, even if you're not romantically interested. go talk to women or go talk to some men just to be used to having those conversations. Being used to having that, that eye contact, to discuss maybe topics that you will not discuss with someone that you're interested. Because when you're interested in a woman or in a man, you're like a little bit nervous, or it's difficult sometimes to talk. So my advice is to really talk, practice, go in the street, talk to people you don't know, talk to men if you're a woman, talk if you're a man, get used to talking to women that you don't know, even if co-workers or people you don't know. Yeah, you're not really interested romantically or to date. So you get used to, talking and how you act physically. So, I mean, those are three little advices. And in the next video, I will talk a little bit more in detail about each topic I had, each point. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks for listening and see you next time. Bye bye. Ciao.